Are you wondering how to make more money and pay less taxes? In this video, I'm going to share with you how to make more money while paying less taxes. Stay tuned until the end to get access to more resources. Hello, everybody. It's Lisa Anderson, Strategic Business Advisor and Virtual CFO with ANAVO Transformation Solutions. And happy Friday! This is my favorite time of the week. My favorite day of the week. You probably already know that about me. But this is the time that I like to jump in and have some conversation around some things that I've experienced throughout the course of each week. And so I wanted to do that this morning. This week has been eventful with a lot of conversations with business owners centered around the impact of their tax returns. And so I wanted to have a conversation with you guys about that this morning or today. So I'm going to start by first asking you two questions. Question number one is, have you had your tax returns prepared? And if so, say yes in the box below. My next question is, were you happy with the results? And I want you to share the feeling that you had about the results of your tax return also in the post below. So I'm going to tell you that I recently had my tax returns prepared. I prepared them myself, and I wasn't happy with the results, but not because I didn't know what the results were going to be. I wasn't happy with the results because of the changes in the tax laws. What we experienced as profitability and earnings as a business this year would have had a different impact on me from tax purposes in previous years than it did this year because of the changes in the laws. But a lot of my conversation with business owners this week has been centered around their surprise in the fact that they had to pay taxes. So I'm going to share with you a comment that someone made. This is not from a client, but this is someone that I actually communicate with in one of the groups that I participate in. But this is what they said. They said, sadly, I do not have a win to share. 2018 was the first year my business turned a profit on paper. It has been a very stressful week as I filed my taxes and have ended up paying more than a half of my hard-earned profits back in taxes. What a hard lesson to learn, but as a determined business owner, I am more hungrier than ever to reformat and revamp my business to become as tax efficient as possible. I would love to hear how you get around this hurdle. So I provided some feedback to this individual as it related to that. And the first thing I said is congratulations on turning a profit, because quite frankly, that is what businesses are supposed to do. They're supposed to generate profit. What's the point of operating in a business if you're not going to operate with a profitable bottom line? The next thing I said is, don't wait until the end of the year to determine your tax fate. And don't be afraid to make money in your business. Again, that is the purpose of operating a business, is to be profitable, to make money, but you don't want to wait until the end of the year to wait until your fate, to know what your tax fate is going to be. So a couple of things that I recommend. Number one is to assess your bottom line every single month. It's unfortunate that a lot of business owners wait until the end of the year to collect and compile their financial information and then get that information prepared for tax preparation. But let me tell you, if you're waiting until the end of the year, you're not assessing and monitoring your financial impacts every single month, you have absolutely no room to mitigate any risk. So you've got to be able to manage your numbers throughout the course of the year. So if you need to minimize your tax burden, then you have the opportunity to do so throughout the course of the year. So what that really means is making certain that you are keeping really good record of your business transactions throughout the course of the year, incorporating any out-of-pocket transactions in your business. I suggest that you reimburse yourself for those transactions throughout the course of the year. If you're driving your car personally and you have mileage, or you are paying out of pocket for parking or any other type of business expense, you want to make certain that you do get disciplined and do a expense report to your business and reimburse yourself for that. Get into that process so that you can understand how much you're actually spending and that you're building those expenses throughout the course of the year. The other thing I would suggest is making certain that you know what your tax rate is for you as a business. And then as you are earning profitability throughout the course of the year, set some money aside into an interest-bearing cash account that it may not feel like you're immediately experiencing a burden, but you're stuffing that cash away. You're stashing cash to prepare for the time in which you need to make those payments. The next thing is your tax accountant should be providing you with quarterly tax payments, an estimated tax payment, and make those payments on a quarterly basis. What that will do is it may not cover all of your expenses or your liability, or may be more than what you're going to be liable for, but nonetheless, you will have paid. So if it's not enough, then at the end of the year, the amount that you will have to pay won't be as great. And then if the amount is too much, then you'll get a refund. And isn't that beautiful? But I told my husband many years ago, once I stepped into business, don't expect to get a tax refund ever again, because we're going to generate a profit. We're going to be a cash generating business, and that means we're going to have to pay in taxes. So don't expect to get a refund every single year, but instead what we try to do is we try to manage our tax burden. Something else I wanted to say is, again, the fact that you've made money, or the fact that you've had to pay taxes, means that you made money, which is a great thing. So a couple of things you want to do is maybe think about making a shift in your business from what we call sole proprietorship into corporations. So you're going to need to talk to your tax accountant about that to determine whether or not it makes sense for your business to do that. But typically speaking, certain corporation structures like S corporation is going to yield you less tax than a sole proprietorship. So think about that. And I've already talked about making certain that you maintain good records throughout the course of the year. But I'm going to also suggest to you that by August, or maybe I should say starting in August, you should start doing some tax planning. And so what does that mean? It means taking a look at your potential taxable burden starting in August, and then from August through the end of the year, start thinking about some of the investments that you may want or need to make in your business that you can capitalize on in this current year to help minimize that tax burden. So that way you get an advantage on growing your business, investing in your business, and also minimizing your tax burden. So start thinking about that. But you have to get your finances caught up to date on a monthly basis. Get to August, September, October, November, and December, and start monitoring and managing that taxable bottom line, and think about the investments that you may want to or need to make in your business. And so the last thing I want to say is that, remember, when it comes to making a profit in your business, you have to consider profit to be something like wages. It's earnings that you have to pay tax on as a privilege of being a citizen here in the United States. That said, the key is not to eliminate profit to avoid the tax, but instead to manage your earnings to capitalize on growth. So that's my few minutes of wisdom, my few tips on managing your taxes as a business. And I hope this was helpful. If so, leave a comment in the section below. And I appreciate you, and happy Friday. Thank you for listening to Plateau to Profits, our business podcast, and our tips on managing your taxable bottom line. I am Lisa Anderson, Strategic Business Advisor and Virtual CFO with ANAVO Transformation Solutions. And if you could, please click the links below to learn more information about our company, and visit our website at www.anavots.com.